Is AI art theft? That's the new hot debate taking place within the art community, as it seems like every day humans are getting closer to being replaced with robots just to save some rich schmucks an extra dollar or two. The main argument that artists are spitting out is that we don't have a problem with AI art being real art because it already exists, therefore making it real. Artists are having problems with these programs because of the unethical ways they take unlicensed work and make a profit off of them. We're not trying to gatekeep, we just want recognition for our work. Now enter Gabi Belle. Gabi Belle is an up-and-coming rising star in the YouTube commentary scene, having her channel really blow up from 7.5k to more than 300k subscribers in last year alone. You might know her best from these videos, or her voice acting role as Ellie from The Last of Us. Recently, she went and did something incredibly brave. She posted her opinions online. Can we please get an F in the chat for this brave soul? And honestly, I'm a fan of her work. I like Gabi's videos, as she makes great content, and 9 out of 10 times, she hits it out of the park. Unfortunately, she struck out with the video she posted called Why AI Art is Causing Outrage. Funnily enough, causing an outrage. I do want to say that whether or not Gabi is a professional artist, I know she only claims to be a hobbyist artist right now, but she's still entitled to her opinions. I'm not butch harmoning her thoughts because she draws recreationally. In fact, it's good to know how the everyman sees interacts with AI, as it allows us to reach a better destination than the one we're currently at. So let's see what Gabi Belle has to say to take this Gabi L. The first half of her video is just her setting the scene, getting us cozy, and tuck us in with a setup of what AI is, how it came to fruition, and where it is now. Nothing too crazy, as it's just the facts of what you can find on a Wikipedia search. The problems come up when she brings us her opinions on these topics, when it seems like she didn't research anything to back up her claims. Gabi talks about how the database has stored thousands of different images, and that we don't really know if these images are stolen or not. But what do you mean we don't know? It's an easy yes or no question. Either the artist has licensed their work out, or they haven't. A quick Google search and you can find multiple artists that have had their work taken without their consent. The most wild story that comes to mind is the recently passed away Kim Jung-gi, the art god, whose work was put into an algorithm to replicate his work literally less than a week after his passing. If that isn't modern day grave robbing, I don't know what is. There are multiple living artists that this is currently happening to. Deb Lee, Louis B., Greg Rudikowski, Carla Ortiz, Aaron Hansen, Daniel Danger, and so on. And when they call out these thieves, they scurry away and pretend like they didn't hear their protests.
Somebody on Reddit took my illustrations and made it into AI art. Here's my art versus artist this year for reference. They were being extremely secretive about who they were basing the AI model off of, but it's pretty obvious that it was my stuff. Like one to one, I could point out which ones were used for which section. I don't know. It's like a few people kind of commented saying like, hey, that's, you know, Deb's drawings, and they deleted it immediately. So yeah, if that doesn't prove it, I don't know what does. Ownership, please. Though it got deleted, some people uploaded elsewhere, and I think it doesn't say here, but it almost has 100 downloads, so it's still out there. Anyway, this especially sucks because I've been spending a lot of years trying to figure out how to draw in a way that is completely my voice, and I figured it out, and in a matter of months it became a bunch of zeros and ones. AI art is theft. It is an awful way to just like steal from artists. It's evil, and if you use AI art, you are dead to me.
Gabi goes on to say that AI takes inspiration similar to how humans do. I didn't know humans could store millions of images in our brains perfectly like a computer can. Not to mention that the AI does not take inspiration from other people's work, it literally takes their work and repurposes them. That's not how a human brain works. I'm gonna art explain to you how the drawing process happens as simply as I can. Our eyes find a source of inspiration, whether it be art or real-world scenery. What we see gets interpreted by our brain, and then that information is sent to our hands to be reinterpreted. So there's about 3 different moments where the image we are seeing is altered. That's not what AI is doing. AI is not inspired. It does not have a will of its own to create. AI takes millions of images illegally stored into its database and repurposes them. Essentially what I'm saying is that even if I had no art or real-world references to look at, I could still create something from my own imagination, while AI can't create something without the storage of other artists' work. Gabi's mistaking inspiration for amalgamation. While the originality is dead, I can say I created it using my own hands and capabilities. AI is taking brushstrokes, images, and full-on drawings and repurposing them. You don't need permission to look at someone else's work and be inspired. But if I go out of my way to take their art and slightly rework it, then yeah, that's a problem. The closest comparison I can make is, what if I found your video, added an ugly filter around it, re-uploaded it, and then copy strike your videos? Because that's actually happening to artists right now, where their work is being screenshotted before completion, stolen, and then have an AI scribble over it, and then demanded the actual artist for credit, which is just insane. Then Gabi goes on to talk about fan artists and how they use other people's work to sell prints and other illustrations to make a living, and asked, well, isn't that stealing? And not a lot of people know this, but it is. It is within the IP holder's power to take down any of that fan work or even sue you because they own the property. Why do you think Nintendo is so easily allowed to take down any fan projects based around their games? And no, that is not what AI is doing. Fan artists take the shows, movies, games that they like, and then they draw it in their own style that they cultivated. AI just regurgitates someone else's already drawn work into another fan. Do we need to get consent for music sampling? While Gabi might think you don't, you really do. But you need to get consent from the original songwriter, publisher of the song, and the permission of the record label. Lawsuits have been filed and won against artists not crediting the origin of where the original sample came from. If you want to be inspired and create a song coming from another person's song, that's a whole other thing. AI-generated music, like SoundRaw, is created from royalty-free sounds, so your point really doesn't work here. Gabi keeps on talking about music and tries to compare drawing and creating music as if they're one-to-one. She goes on to compare AI as a new toolset for artists to use, like how people moved on from traditionally painting to now digitally. Not really thinking about how a brush or a Cincy pen is just a tool to allow me to draw what I want and not the whole toolset. Essentially, I could create an illustration if you took my fancy PC and programs and just left me with the essentials. While if you took away a tech bro's AI, they couldn't steal someone else's work. Not to mention, the example she brought up didn't make that much sense. That the actor used as a basis for the 3D model animation is still someone's art. The actor had to make those poses as he was directed by someone else, and then the animation was tweaked by a 3D artist. If current day animation was just made with make new animation button, then that would be a closer comparison. To close off, Gabi talks about how this is just a natural evolution of technology, and we should just accept it as how things are. What a defeatist attitude. Yeah guys, AI is already here. Why try to fight for better rights? Just roll over and bow down to the new AI overlords. Hey, random YouTuber, next time your videos gets copyright claimed, just forget about it. If your entire channel gets demonetized, just move on. If you get sued for your original content, just give them everything they want. Yes, AI is here to stay, but we should fight for better rights and recognition of our work than just being apathetic about it. A common phrase that Gabi's using over and over again is trend, which goes to show where she stands on this. The AI is just a trend for her, a fad, a fart in the wind, and not a mainstay in our technological toolset. It helps to explain why she is pro-AI, and even though she denies that she is, all her points in this video seem defensive in AI's favor. Gabi's also using Lensa and encouraging others to use it as well as stating that she talked to some people who understand AI better than her. You know who would have been also great to talk to? Some actual artists, to know why they're upset. To put it simply, artists are being scammed out of their work, time, and money. Why hire an artist to illustrate something for $1,000 when you can get 1,000 illustrations for free? It's an exploitation race to the cheapest amount of work for the lowest cost. Similar to how NFT bros don't care about the art that they pump and dump, AI bros don't care about creating art and are just looking for the next get-rich-quick scheme. Gabi did release an updated video addressing some of the points that she got wrong, but not all of them, so I figured it was still worth it to make this video. My main issue with the video is that it doesn't come off as well researched as most of her points can be easily debunked, and that she's projecting her opinions as facts. Again, as I said at the beginning, I think she usually does knock it out of the park, but this one felt fairly one-sided and not hitting the root of the issues the artists are having with this new piece of tech. With that said, let me know if I got any of this wrong. I'm aware that my bias is against AI art, and I haven't seen a talking point that's refuted my beliefs, so let me know what you think. Or if you don't know what to say, I'm sure there's an AI writing program that can create a comment for you, want to tell you what to think, how to take photos, eat, make your makeup, raise your children, live your life, exist,